So Riot have just announced what I think is one of the biggest changes and reworks to the Battle Pass and free reward system. It's also really controversial. There are a lot of opinions on it. Quite a few people really hate the changes that Riot are proposing. We also have news about the next Mythic shop, and we also have Riot's latest response on a potential Orange Essence shop. So first up, next week's patch 14.24 will be a large Mythic shop with a lot of unvaulted content. Riot Arcade House has also posted the cost of each item. So Nexus finishes will be 250 Mythic Essence, and all prestige skins will cost 150 Mythic Essence. And seasonal and legacy Mythic skins will be 125 Mythic Essence, wards 50, seasonal event chromas will be 40, emotes will cost 25, and icons 5 Mythic Essence. And Caden House did confirm that all prestiges will cost 150 Mythic Essence regardless of release date. So basically they want to simplify prices and just make it simple for everyone, so it's one price fits all. Next up, someone asked Rioter Drew 11 of what people could do with all this Orange Essence that they have collected over the years, and he did respond saying that yes, they will add more ways to spend Orange Essence other than Hextech crafting, and he said a longer answer will come in 2025, nothing specific to share yet. So this is a similar response to what they always say, but there will be some sort of announcement or a longer answer next year. So hopefully this means that there will be some sort of Orange Essence shop. And in some other quick news, there will be some exclusive emotes dropping next week from December 13th onwards for the TFT Open. So if you do want any of these emotes, make sure you check Twitch, check the campaigns, and you'll be able to get different emotes for different streams that you tune into. There's also going to be some other TFT loot as well dropping if you are a fan of these. Now moving on to the main topic of the video. Riot recently announced a massive change to battle passes, free rewards, Mythic Essence, and basically everything to do with events. Now already this has caused a lot of backlash. So many people are unhappy with the proposed changes which will be taking place next year. I've had a look at all the information that they have given, and depending on what type of player you are, it'll either be really good for you or it'll be a massive nerf. But basically what Riot want to do is rework the entire reward system into one consistent battle pass that runs throughout the year, so there will be no downtime between passes. There will always be a pass available, and any progress that you do make in honor and mastery and things like that will all contribute to your progression and levels on this pass. And just like every pass, there's free rewards and paid rewards. So basically the proposed changes are, if you do buy a pass, you'll get the prestige skin guaranteed no matter what. Now something to notice is they've completely removed event tokens, and there won't be an event token shop anymore. Another thing to note is there's no Mythic Essence in the actual pass rewards itself, which in my personal opinion seems like a massive nerf, because you won't be able to choose between whether you want the prestige skin or the Mythic Essence. You're being forced to get the prestige skin. Whether you play that champion or not, you will get that prestige skin. What you'll also get from the pass is these 3 ancient sparks, which is from this new gacha system which I'll talk about soon. And from that you'll get a tiny amount of Mythic Essence, but nowhere near as much as what you'd get from the passes now. Once you fully complete the pass, there'll be an infinite repeating mission which will give 25 Orange Essence every 5 levels. So if you do continue to grind, you'll get a small amount of Orange Essence. You'll no longer get tokens because they don't exist anymore. So the free rewards under this new system will offer a few skins. You'll be able to get some other loot as well, some champion capsules and some blue essence, which will also be on the infinite repeating levels at the end of the pass track. Now at face value, this does look good when compared to the free rewards that you get in events at the moment. And here's one of the most controversial announcements. Riot have said you'll no longer receive chests from mastery, but instead be rewarded in pass experience. So they're bringing champion mastery into the battle pass progression, and their explanation is this will make it better for ARAM players or casual players and whatnot. As you know, the mastery chest came in to replace the weekly S chest that we used to get. We used to be able to get 52 chests a year from scoring S grades, and since this new mastery system got added, a lot of people, especially ARAM players, haven't been able to get the most out of it because it's very difficult to hit the milestones for a specific champion in ARAM. So already the mastery chest system felt like a nerf. Well, now they're no longer going to have mastery chests, and they're not going to bring back the weekly S chest. At least that's what I can tell from this announcement. Now when this dev article got posted, it actually caused a lot of uproar on Reddit, and something very interesting is the mods on the main subreddit were quick to remove a lot of these posts calling out this change. There was a post that said huge nerf to free to play players with 700 upvotes, 300 comments, and that post was removed. There was another post saying they are removing and deleting bleeding free chest you get from mastery, and the mods removed that post as well. In another post they removed, a Rioter had actually commented on it with some useful information, but the post was also removed, and the post was labeled battle passes are another nerf to event passes with no compensation. So this post had 100 upvotes and a few comments, with some of those comments being from a Rioter. So to me this is crazy. They're removing posts that are trying to call this out. So there's obviously a bit of censorship going on. I think these posts are valid and people are obviously agreeing with them, they're upvoting them, and then once they get a lot of upvotes they're getting removed. It is sad to see this happening, but I'm not surprised. This is Reddit and this is known to happen. Now there's one post that is still up that got about 2,000 upvotes, and it said the new free rewards in League are worse than you might think. So a lot of the complaints are around free to play players not getting as many free rewards and skin shards and things like that as they used to. It's all going to come under this new system that's proposed. So a lot of people feel like these proposed changes are a stab in the back for free to play players. And for some people at the end of the day it is just free rewards. A lot of people don't really care about them. They're a nice little bonus you get for playing the game. But what does feel bad for free to play players is when you're used to getting, a certain amount of chest or skin shards from playing each week or each month, and then to slowly see that being nerfed over the years. We've seen this happen with esport drops. They used to give a lot of those, they've been nerfed. And same with those capsule missions, there used to be chests in those, now they're completely removed. So over the years there has been a massive decrease in rewards across the board for free to play players. So yeah, it is a free to play game, but it does feel bad when you notice those nerfs happening. It's something people have gotten used to, and now obviously Riot are trying to clamp down and remove the amount of skins and skin shards that people are getting for free. And people have commented that free to play players will find it a lot harder to get even rare skins or legendary skins from drops, because in the old system you used to be able to re-roll skin shards and sometimes you'd get a really good skin. Well, that's no longer the case. It's going to be a lot harder to get good skins when you're a free to play player. And to be fair, the announcement might not be the final changes that go ahead. There might be other free rewards, but at this stage from what they've proposed there seems to be no mention of whether the weekly chests are coming back or drops are going to be improved. We don't know, but from what I can tell they probably would have announced that in the article if that was the case. So it's not looking good if you're a free to play player. And someone replied to Caden House saying, at face value this is like another nerf to free experience. And he responds saying, yes and no. It entirely depends on how you approach and play the game. If you're a die-hard sweaty grinder who min-maxes everything, it might feel like a nerf depending on what you care about. If you're the average player, this should feel like a buff. And to add to that, I also think this is true for the passes. And this is the camp I fall into. I used to buy passes to farm tokens to then spend those tokens on orbs. I personally didn't care about things like borders or event accessories. I only cared about skin shards. So this new pass being proposed will feel like a massive nerf because you can no longer grind and farm tokens and skin shards. However, if you casually play the game, you might not notice a difference. But in my opinion, from what I can tell and the information they've given, it feels like a nerf to people like me or people who grind every free reward or every pass. This will feel like a nerf. So personally, I don't like these changes. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not going to buy the pass, but that's my personal choice. Some people who casually play the game might find this better, and some people might like the fact that you can get the prestige skin automatically when you complete the pass. You don't have to choose. But in my opinion, having the option or the choice to choose what you wanted from the event token shop was better. It was a better system because you could choose to get the prestige skin if you played that champion or cared about it. Otherwise, if you didn't care about the prestige skin, you could get a bunch of mythic essence, or you could get a bunch of other stuff like orbs, borders, chromas, whatever. You had the choice. You no longer will have the choice. And like someone else pointed out, they already nerfed chest rewards for free to play players to be grindy as fuck. And now they want to remove chests and only offer a few orbs per season. And this is true. You used to be able to grind a free chest every week as long as you or someone in your pre-made got an S score. And then they brought in this new mastery system which was a lot grindier, but you had the potential to get more chests, but most people didn't even maximize it. So now they're removing both of those systems, which is a bit of a bummer. So hopefully they do hear some of the feedback, but we'll see what happens. And some people are hopeful, like maybe they will move the chest to like a weekly, monthly mission, So it is possible Riot do add extra event related missions and rewards that haven't been announced yet. And in that same dev blog they said that you'll only be able to get skin shards through purchasing or obtaining Hextech chests and event loot moving forward. The shards you have now aren't going anywhere, they'll be in your inventory. You can get more free skins a year next year when this change takes place. We're just taking the shards and re-rolling out of that free experience. So basically skin shards will still exist, but you won't be able to get them from the free to play rewards. You'll have to purchase orbs and purchase chests if you do want to get skin shards and continue re-rolling. So to me this is another downside to this new system. Free to play players won't really be able to engage with the re-rolling system, which in my opinion was part of the fun. You'd get a random skin shard and you could choose to upgrade it or re-roll it and get a random one. Or you could even disenchant it and get orange essence, which you can then use to unlock a skin shard that you did want. Well, they're basically removing that from the free to play experience. So this I do think is a bit of a bummer. I think a lot of people aren't actually aware of these changes and they're going to be in for a shock when it goes live. And a Rioter did confirm that they're not touching your skin shards that are already in your inventory. So they aren't deleting skin shards, they're just making it nearly impossible for free to play players to get. Obviously if you own the pass you'll still get skin shards from the orbs that the pass gives, and you'll still get them from Hextech chest if you do buy them in the store. And Rioter Sakar said yes, re-rolling and skin shards still exist, we just want those to be something you opt into rather than always be driving you into it. So again, I'm not happy with these changes because now they're just driving you into a skin you probably don't want and you don't have the option to re-roll it as a free to play player. And someone actually pointed out it's because Riot have always hated how all the whales who brought every skin can just re-roll new ones instantly. And this I can see being true because we already saw Rioters mention in the past that they don't like the re-roll system as it is. In case you don't know, a whale is someone who collects every skin and they just re-roll all the new ones when they come out. I used to be one of these people, but I actually gave up on it a while ago, especially when they started announcing some of the changes where you couldn't get some of the new mythic variants from re-rolling. And with this new change it'll be a lot harder for whales or people who collect skins to just re-roll new skins. And someone else commented that was one of the reasons to become a whale, which I agree with. They're taking away something that you brought into and you thought would stay forever and they're removing it. It's a bit of a slap in the face to people who've spent thousands of dollars on the game. They're just removing a huge selling point for becoming a whale. But I do understand this is a minority of people. It's not the main player base, so a lot of people won't actually care about this particular point, but it is interesting to note. Now going back to the past rewards, it says you'll get 3 ancient sparks, and this will basically be one of the only ways to get mythic essence from the pass, because those ancient sparks do have a small percent drop rate of mythic essence, and there's about a 50% chance to get 5 mythic essence from one of these sparks. So even if you do manage to get a mythic essence drop, it's very likely that it'll only be 5 mythic essence. And if you look at the actual drop rates from these ancient sparks, it's still only a 10% to get 10 mythic essence, a 1.4% to get 25 mythic essence, and even very smaller odds to get 50 or 100 mythic essence. So they've removed mythic essence from the past and they've put it into this gambling gacha ancient spark system, and you only get 3 ancient sparks, so chances are if you buy a pass you're probably going to end up with 5 or 10 mythic essence total, which in my opinion is a massive nerf to the pass. I know a lot of people only bought the passes to get mythic essence. Well, that will no longer be the case. I think what's being proposed here is terrible, especially these mythic essence drops and the removal of tokens entirely, so you don't have a choice to choose your rewards. Now I know some people might say, oh well actually this is similar to Fortnite, this is much better. In my opinion this is not like Fortnite. Fortnite will have a pass where you get all the rewards on the track and then you unlock the event skins on the way, and then when you max out the pass you get the last skin. So people are saying this is similar to Fortnite's pass. In my opinion it's a lot worse, because with Fortnite at least you get the in-game currency back, which is V-Bucks. You can use those V-Bucks and keep buying the next pass. It's a one-time purchase only, and to me that's really good. Riot Games don't offer this at all in their passes. They don't give you RP back where you can just unlock the next pass straight away. It's not even comparable to Fortnite. And why it's also hard to compare to Fortnite is the skins you get on the Fortnite pass, everyone can use them, whereas the prestige skin that everyone who buys the pass will get, not everyone will even play that champion. So the prestige skin will actually be worthless for a lot of people who bought the pass but don't play that champion. That's why I feel like it doesn't work as well here when you give everyone the prestige skin, because not everyone plays that champion. And in fact this might cause the value of prestige skins in events to go down, because it will no longer be as exclusive or rare. Basically everyone who bought the pass will have that same skin. And this is one of the downsides to Fortnite's Battle Pass. So the skins that you unlock in Fortnite's Battle Pass, they aren't really seen as exclusive. I think I remember one of them being like Peely or Banana skin. And when you think of that, it's not really prestigious because everyone has it. Everyone who bought the pass has that skin. And this is what I think will happen with these new passes, because you no longer have a choice to spend your tokens on what you want. And you can't choose to buy Mythic Essence or other loot. They've removed the token shop. And even comparing it to the Hall of Legends pass, at least that pass still gave you Mythic Essence in the rewards. And you also got a lot of orbs, masterwork chests and Hextech chests, as well as event related loot for that Hall of Legends pass. It was slightly more expensive, but in my opinion it's much better than the pass that's being proposed now. And in the Hall of Legends pass you even got a Chroma, which honestly I don't know what's happening with event Chromas going forward because they weren't listed in the proposed battle pass changes. So before you could choose to get event Chromas with your event tokens, whereas now or next year it seems like you won't even get event Chromas at all. You don't have the option and it doesn't seem to be listed as a reward. So this is another downgrade from what we're used to. And Caden House actually expanded on the Mythic Essence basically being removed from the pass. He said Mythic Essence will mainly be coming from the Sanctum now, so through buying rolls there or from the paid pass. Those are the little ancient sparks with the small drop rates for Mythic Essence. So basically some Mythic Essence is still on the pass, it's just not presented in the way you're used to, and it gives you a chance to obtain higher values, or an absolute best case scenario, an Exalted or Mythic variant skin. So it's gacha. They're taking away your ability to choose and get Mythic Essence from the pass, and they're forcing you into this gacha system where you don't even know what you're going to end up with before you buy the pass. And in that same dev blog, they mentioned the pass will last about 4 patches instead of the current 2. And they said this extended duration gives you more time to unlock rewards while requiring about the same amount of gameplay per week to do so. It sounds like it's going to be grindier or require double the amount of games because it's going to last twice as long. So it's not going to be like the Hall of Legends pass where you can finish it really quickly. So I'm not a fan of this. They're doubling the amount of total games required to complete each pass. And their justification for this is the pass is going to last twice as long. So I don't think this is as good as they're trying to word it here. You're basically going to be grinding non-stop or at the same rate that you are now with no downtime in between passes. And they also mention it's going to feel like a steady progress. They're basically going to be doubling the games required to complete a pass compared to now. So do bear that in mind when purchasing it. I think Riot have previously said that most people who get the pass don't even complete it anyway. So obviously they're trying to keep this, it sounds like they don't even want everyone completing it. They don't want it to be as fast as the Hall of Legends pass. They want it to be grindier and require more games to balance the extended duration. And they've also, and this is something I've noticed throughout the article, the way they word things is they're trying to make it sound really good and not just be blunt and say that it's a nerf or grindier. So here they say it should still take the same gameplay investment to complete a pass than it does today, because now everything adds pass XP even though the pass is double the length. So when they say the same gameplay investment, they want the same investment that you're putting into passes now to continue forward. Even though the pass lasts longer, it's going to require double the games, based on kind of how they're wording it here. So in my opinion it will be a bit grindier and the progression will feel slower. However, I'll mention something that does sound good. If you're able to do your daily missions every day, you don't need to go too far into other missions. So this is something that I do think sounds good. If you just log in each day, complete a daily mission, that might be enough to complete most of the pass. And this is kind of similar to Fortnite where the daily missions do give a lot of XP, and I think it'll be similar here. So if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of time each week to sink into grinding the new battle pass, then a good way to keep on top of it will be these daily missions. I also do want to talk about borders, because a lot of people who are in favor of these proposed changes are people who really like to collect all the borders from an event. And Rioter Caden House said it should still be the same amount of borders, just now you don't have the whole token system. So if that's how you interacted with the pass, you'll actually be getting more stuff now on top of those borders. You just have to hit the level on the pass associated with the border. Again, there's still no mention of the event chromas, which in my opinion are actually better than borders. And Rioter Sakar also say borders in the paid pass correspond to skins skins also in the paid pass. So you're not really going to have a scenario where you have a border but not the skin. So basically you'll be able to get the border and the skin to go with that border within the pass. And Caden House also says that there'll be 3 borders on the paid pass. And someone replied to that saying the pass will give us 3 borders for obviously 3 skins, but what about the rest? I assume we'll have more than just 3 skins for each pass. So that's another thing we don't know. We don't know how many event skins there are going to be and how many event borders, but it sounds like the total amount of borders and event skins are only going to be about 3, which is another downgrade. There's normally about 8 borders and skins for each event. And Rioter confirmed that the milestones on the pass make it so that the next milestone after the skin should be its border. So the only way you wouldn't be able to unlock the border is if you didn't reach that level right after getting the skin. Now this might be a hot take. I've never been a fan of borders. They only show on the loading screen. To me they aren't as valuable as things like Chromas, which cost about the same tokens in the token shop. So what I've noticed is a lot of people who are in favor of this new system, they really like borders. But for someone like me or other people who don't really care about borders, especially for champions you don't play, then it's almost going to seem like a useless reward. To me they just aren't as valuable as something like a chroma or a skin, or even tokens which you can use for orbs and skin shards. So I had a look at all the information made available on this proposed new system, and I came up with a list of pros and cons, because I don't want to be a negative Nancy and just say this is shit. There are some pros and cons to this proposed new system. The pros are that there will always be a reward pass track active. There won't be any downtime in between passes like there has been. It's a simpler system, so when you look at it visually, it's a lot simple in design and easier to understand. You're guaranteed the prestige skin from the pass. There's a longer time to farm each pass. Both honor and champion mastery levels up the reward track faster. There's a better mission XP system, so daily, weekly, event, etc. And the daily mission XP seems really good. And some other pros to this new system, you could get really lucky from the ancient spark pools. So this is what Caden House was saying. You could get some high value rewards from those ancient sparks. However, it's a very low chance or low odds at getting those. Another pro is if you collect borders, you'll be able to get all the event borders from the reward track. This new system might actually be better for ARAM players, but it won't be as good as the weekly S-chest system. Now that's all the pros. Moving on to the cons, and there's a lot of cons to this new proposed system. They're basically removing all free chests, both mastery and what I assume ranked reward chests as well. There wasn't a mention of what's happening to the free chests you get from the ranked rewards track. I imagine this is going as well. The weekly S chests aren't returning from what I can tell. There'll be no more tokens and token farming. There won't be any choice on what to spend your tokens on, so whether that's orbs, mythic essence, prestige, event accessories, keys, etc. from the token shop. So my advice is if you're sitting on a stack of chests now and you don't have enough keys, it might be best to spend your event tokens from the arcane pass on some keys and unlock those now. Under this new system, you're forced to get the prestige and borders for champions you may not even play. And from what I can tell, they're removing event chromas that were in the token shop, so I can't see any mention of what's happening to the event chromas that you'd see in the event shop. Another con, they're basically removing mythic essence from the pass and putting them into some very low odds in the ancient sparks instead. They're actually removing masterwork chests and the tracker, so that was a chance to get bonus mythic essence, while they're removing masterwork chests entirely. Another con, the pass doesn't give in-game currency like Fortnite does, so you don't get any RP in the pass, whereas Fortnite would give V-Bucks. So that's another con. It's a huge nerf to the amount of skin shards and rerolling, which will impact whales and farmers the most. Leveling up the pass and track will feel slower. It requires double the amount of games because the track is active for double the duration it is now. Free-to-play players can't get skin shards or legendary skins anymore. It's going to be near impossible. Free-to-play players won't have as much choice to reroll or upgrade skin shards. There seems to be less borders available with each event and pass. Your stash of keys or chests may become useless, and of course you're forced into a gacha system at the expense of other rewards. Now I should note that there are still some unknowns about this proposed system. There was an image posted in the dev article that had a picture of some event missions, and in that picture you can see a grab bag. So this is interesting. This might mean that there are still grab bags within the event related missions which weren't actually announced in the dev article. So this is something I'm hopeful for. Maybe there will be some good rewards in these missions that we haven't seen yet. And another unknown is the ranked rewards and drops. We don't know what's happening with those in terms of like Hextech chests. Will we still get them from ranked rewards? We don't know. As for drops, we haven't actually got Hextech chests from drops in a while, so they might be removed completely. So it really does depend on what sort of player you are, how much you grind the game, and which camp you sort of fit into on whether you think this proposed pass is good or bad. But that's enough yapping. Let me know what you do think about this proposed change. Do you hate it? Do you think it's terrible? Or do you like what's being proposed? Do you think it's simpler? Do you think it's just going to be more casual friendly? Let me know below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.